Okay, so I have created a product and the product repository interface that is for the repository pattern. And after this step, I want to go for the GitHub accounts, and I want to create a new repository for this repository. And just create a new repository first at the local level, and after that you can push this repository on your global. So just create a local level repository, that is the local repository here, and I want to push it on the internet. So you know that this is that is amazing. When you push the content on the global repository, when you click on the push button, you will find that you will find a prompt here, and in the prompt you just got a your account, your GitHub account information, and after that you can just make it visibility is private. I will share the repository and make it contributor for this project just after that. So this is my github.com, and I just create a private repository, and in the private repository I have an I have the complete detailed about the project information, and here we have a commits. So one by one I will share the commits information, so you can see that. And after that I'm going to create a new project, that is the API layer project, or just implement the repositories. So just add a new API layer project. So what is the project name? I just consider it eshop.api and under the src directory. And you know that here we have a eshop.api project. So just remove the commented section from your API project, and also remove the weather forecast controller. Okay, and also just create some few controller in your API layer, like account controller, like products controller, orders controller, and the cart controller. So here we have a API layer, so that is my account controller. Okay, and I just go for the new concept in account controller, that is I just implement the map identity that is released in .NET 8. That is the new feature for the .NET 8 for the map identity. Okay, so here we have a orders controller, accounts controller, and a cart controller. Also have a products controller here. So I want to implement first, that is product controller. Okay, just create a first action method, or you can say the first endpoint, that is get products, where just receive the list of products by the clients. And I just share the read-only list of the product. So here we have a product and the get products information. Okay, so here we have a I also create some few parameters, and that parameters is related to the products specifications, like product param specifications, like paging, and sorting, searching, etc. Okay, so here we have some product specifications. Okay, so just create a new, product specs params and product specs params. I mean to say that where we have a sorting, searching, and paging related contents, and also query string parameters. You can say so that is the categories and categories. I mean to say that if you want to check necklace in the gold category as well as the silver category, so just show the categories and you can filter out the problems like categories and multiple products. So categories, that is the private, and in the encapsulations you have to set the split options, that is remove empty entries. Similar for the types, that is the product types, you can set it here. So just copy the complete code, that is the same thing you can do with the product types. Okay, and just change the name only, that is the types, and replace the categories with the types only. And here we have remove empty entries, and here we have a public int, that is the string of short, and that is for the search option. If someone calls search without search options, so you can just pass the in the query string, that is empty default. So get is underscore search and also empty if it is null, and set the search with the value with that to lower. Okay, now the next parameter is the paging parameter. You can set it here and inherit the product specs param with the paging specs parameters, paging params. And paging params is also a class inside your core project. So here we have a private const integer, that is max page size is 50. Also set the page size, page index is get set, and page size is also there with their encapsulations. And for the class securities, you can make it the page size is private first, and after that you can get the page size and set the page size like this, that is the value is greater than max page size question mark. If the value is greater than max page size, then is max page size colon value. Now you can set the from query method here, and that is the product specs params, and that is the specs params. Now you can implement this product repository with the product specs params. Also the get count async is product specs param. and implement a product repository under your infrastructure layer. Now implement this product repository with the iProduct repository class, iProduct repository interface. Now add a reference of your core layer under your infrastructure layer. Now just after that, you can use your context class like eStore context class and implement all these repositories here. Implement all these methods actually. Okay, so that is your application DB context. Use eStore here, that is underscore context. Okay, so implement all these functions one by one, like get product async. First of all, make it queryable, and after that you can iterate or the match the all conditions. So first of all, you can see that here we have a app user and add a DB set for the product because I want to implement the complete product repository. So we need a product DB set here. Okay, so not string dot is null or empty, and the params dot search. So what is the query is here? Like query is query dot where extends to x dot names dot contain or names dot to lower dot contains params dot search. Now that is your first if query for the product specs param. The next query is related to your and that is the categories and the types. So params dot categories dot any. If it is there like categories dot any, so query dot where params dot categories dot contains category, or you can say x dot category. The same thing for the types. So params dot types dot any is what? That is the query dot where extends to params dot types dot contain types. Query is what? That is the query param dot short switch price ascending descending and the default you can set it here. So for the price ascending is query dot order by, that is the price, and the similar for the price descending, that is query dot order by descending for the price. Now the next one is the query dot order by extends to name for the order by. The same thing you can do with the paging also. So here we have a page size, paging, and page size and page number. So the default is return await. So the query dot skip is param dot page index is -1 and the params dot page size. Okay, so here we have a paging like await query dot split and the take functions. So now you can you can use the paging into your project. So just implement the function that is exist in your controller side. That is, the first one is, I want to need a count function here. And just after that, you can repository dot get product async. So I want to implement the same function, that is get count async, because I want to send the pagination result. So implement that the complete repository first, because we need all these functions to test the product repository. So where count is await repository product repository dot get count async, and that is the specs params. Now after that you can call the pagination new pagination class, and the pagination class is the type of T. Okay, and return is okay. So what is this? That is written okay. I mean to say that that is the pagination, and you can implement the pagination here. Pagination of type T, public int page index, page page size. I read only list of the data, and count is there. Now the next one is the pagination constructor here, where you just set the index, page size, count, and the data. Now return okay with the pagination result. Now we all know that I want to implement this repository first. Where we have a count function. So I want to just get the complete count with their params. So context dot products dot as queryable, and the string dot is null or empty. Query is query dot where. So first the based on the search result. Now after that query and the category and the types. So just get the query dot where, to params dot categories dot contains the x dot category. The similar for your your types. So query dot where extends to params dot types dot contain x dot type. Okay, so just get the complete count first. Now after that you can implement the complete repository first, and then after you can implement the products controller. Okay, so, first of all update, that is context.products.update. So one by one, you can implement the complete repository first. Now here we have a get by ID async. So return await. Context.products.select category dot testing dot to list. So category and the types, you just get it. And also you just check the exist function, and now you can implement the controller again. Publish async task action result of the product, like get product by ID. So where product is product repository, product repository dot get by ID async. So similarly for the next, that is get products types and the categories, and delete product and the update product. So I want to create a product first. Okay, so this is the simple thing, you can do it here yourself without any voice. So just do it.